ഫുട്ബോൾ പ്രേമി പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റിന്റെ അടുത്ത എപ്പിസോഡിലേക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ മാച്ച് ഓഫ് ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഗെയിം വീക്ക് റിവ്യൂ ചെയ്യാൻ പോവാണ്. ലിവർപൂൾ വേഴ്സസ് ലീഡ്സ്. നമ്മുടെ കൂടെ ഉള്ളത് ശ്യാം. ഒന്ന് കൈ കാണിക്കും പക്ഷേ ആൻഡ് ബാല. So 4-3 most exciting game of the first game week. Initial opinions, Bala.
Initial opinions, one side looked ready for the Premier League and the other one didn't. I think we can come to a conclusion who was who. I'm very diplomatic at I'm not naming names because there were a couple of garbage defenders in one team which looked like they were wearing a red shirt, but yeah. Let's go with that.
തീരെ വ്യക്തിഗതമല്ലാത്ത opinionated point of view.
Of course. Complete neutral point of view ആണല്ലോ. Complete neutral ആണല്ലോ. I'm completely unbiased, completely footballing related.
By the way, for everybody's benefit, ഇത് മൂന്ന് പേരും മാഞ്ചസ്റ്റർ യുണൈറ്റഡ് ഫാൻസ് ആണ്. അപ്പൊ പിന്നെ
അല്ല, നമ്മളാണ് മാഞ്ചസ്റ്റർ യുണൈറ്റഡ് ഫാൻസ് ആർ ദ what you say correct people to actually judge this match. കാരണം ലീഡ്സ് യുണൈറ്റഡ് ആയാലും ലിവർപൂൾ ആണെങ്കിലും we both we don't like either of them.
Anyway, trying to be objective, I think first game week and a high scoring match was really entertaining. ബാല പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഡിഫെൻഡിങ് രണ്ട് സൈഡിൽ നിന്നും കാണാൻ പറ്റാത്ത തരത്തിലുള്ള മാച്ച് ആയിരുന്നു. Sad that Leeds had to concede almost all 4 of their goals technically through a dead ball situation. Bielsa ഒട്ടും ഇഷ്ടമില്ലാത്ത കാര്യമാണ്. But what I think stood out was the high pressing that Bielsa makes his Leeds play. Something that we've used to seeing in the championship. ഒരു ഫുൾ സീസണും ചാമ്പ്യൻഷിപ്പിൽ അങ്ങനെ കളിച്ചൊരു ടീം പ്രീമിയർ ലീഗിൽ വന്നിട്ട് ചാമ്പ്യൻസിന്റെ ഹോം ഗ്രൗണ്ട് അങ്ങനെ കളിക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ എന്നുള്ളൊരു ഡൗട്ട് ഐ തിങ്ക് ഫസ്റ്റ് 10 മിനിറ്റിൽ തന്നെ തീർത്തു കൊടുത്താണ്. റൈറ്റ് ഫ്രം ദ ബാക്ക് മെസ്ലിയർ തൊട്ട് ബാംഫോർഡ് വരെ they were playing man to man marking. I think hardly not more than a second and a half for a Liverpool player in possession ആയിരുന്നു. I think that took them by surprise.
Yeah, the high press was very very difficult for Liverpool to deal with. So what about the goals itself, right? First one penalty? Yes, no, maybe?
I think both the penalties were right calls. There is no controversy. Adillu doubt to
the penalty wasn't the ball deflecting off of his knee?
Yeah, but
I don't know.
His arm was in a position.
Arm was outstretched, so-called unnatural position. But show me a defender who can balance himself without stretching his arms. So
you don't consider that, to be honest.
No, it's by the letter of the law, yes, penalty. But yeah, that's the way the game goes. But anyway, cheap way to take a lead, not befitting champions. I can see another 30-year drought. Yeah, so
penalties was not supposedly attractive play anymore based on Liverpool fans comments from last season.
Yes, there was a lot of objection about certain Bruno Fernandes scoring penalties. So
we'll continue to object. That's not a problem at all. But anyway, okay.
But I think what stood out I think was Leeds' approach to their attack was really actually kind of like a mad thinking coming out of Bielsa's tactics. I don't think we should be surprised by that. But they were actually leaving spaces wide open in their midfield and pushing almost like 5 people, pressing that attacking that backline of Liverpool.
ഓർമ്മയുണ്ടാവില്ല, നമ്മള് ഫസ്റ്റ് എപ്പിസോഡ് ന്യൂ കമേഴ്സിനെ കവർ ചെയ്ത സമയത്ത് ലീഡ്സ് എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും അറ്റാക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ നമ്മളൊരു സെക്ഷനിൽ എടുത്തായിരുന്നു. കാൽവിൻ ഫിലിപ്സ് സെന്ററിന് കീപ്പറിന്റെ അടുത്തേക്ക് വന്ന് ബോൾ കളക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു, മുമ്പിലേക്ക് പാസ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഫസ്റ്റ് ഗോൾ ഐ തിങ്ക് വാസ് പ്രിറ്റി മച്ച് സെയിം ക്ലിപ്പ്. മാച്ച് കണ്ട് ഓർമ്മ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. ഫസ്റ്റ് കാൽവിൻ ഫിലിപ്സ് ആ ബോൾ റിസീവ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ there's like a 1 second shot where Wijnaldum turns to Klopp and asks who is to press him. കാരണം ആ പൊസിഷനിൽ ലിവർപൂളിന്റെ മിഡ്ഫീൽഡ് ഒട്ടും കവർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ല. ബോൾ കിട്ടി, ഓഫ് കോഴ്സ് he has the quality to play that pass. Jack Harrison turned Alexander Arnold like inside
And
out.
Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez was trying to do a recovery. I think there's a bit of confusion between them all through, right? The back line.
I
No, I
don't
think
understand.
Liverpool. I think
I don't
Liverpool just
understand
got.
this. I don't understand this concept of trying to deflect blame from Van Dijk and Arnold towards Joe Gomez. He's like the junior defender in that group. Let's admit that Ta was
Van Dijk
undercooked.
made him
not
See,
made
well.
Bala.
made a
So
blueprint,
I think
right?
I think what
Van
you have
Dijk
to
made a clear
Bala. I
blueprint.
think
That
what
was-
you have to understand is Alexander Arnold is a midfielder who is playing at fullback, masquerading as a defender. He got spun inside out. I think more than like 3 or 4 times in the last season.
But in all
particularly
fairness,
by Manchester United's number 10.
In all
And then-
fairness,
and
banter
then,
aside, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is probably the worst game to start the season. I'm sure he's better than this. Actually, for my own benefit, I hope he's better than this because he's in my fantasy team.
No, he actually got saved. There was a second half goal. If you remember, there was a second half offside
Oh,
call.
the one that he headed inside.
Yeah, he headed inside. He didn't even try. So it was, he was actually happy to see the flag.
I think in
think
that
he's pretty-
back
he's
four,
not
I think the
match
only
fit.
one who played well was Robertson in that
Yeah.
back four.
Yeah, Robertson was good. I do agree. Yeah.
He was the
He was
only
sharp.
one playing sharp.
None of the others looked ready for the season, to be honest with you. But again, that's a passing thing. I'm pretty sure Liverpool will be back on form.
I think that is, I mean, in my personal opinion, that's stretching it a bit far. Ready, Allah namku parayan pattilla. But couple of shambolic defending, to be honest. I think even the Liverpool fans would agree that both the goals were due to defensive errors.
Van Dijk just had to clear it or pass it back, right?
Yep.
He goes for the cute option to pass it, to try and pass it.
That to the outside of the foot. അതിന്റെ ഒട്ടും ആവശ്യം ഉണ്ടാവില്ല.
അത് ജാടയായിരുന്നു, അത് വെറും ജാടയായിരുന്നു. ഞാൻ അഡ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം, ഓപ്പൺ ആയിട്ട്.
I think I have a feeling Liverpool kind of underestimated Leeds a bit, just a bit, tad bit, because first 25 minutes they were really shell shocked. Because അവർ വിചാരിച്ചിരുന്നത് there's going to be a lot of passing between the lines. There is going to be a lot of balls through the midfield and all that. Leeds did none of that. They just passed to Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips had the time to pick out, one of the 5 runners. It was like a quarterback in American football. He was picking his passes. Based on the runners, and some of those runs were really smart.
Yeah, I mean,
it was practically a
it's not
4-1-5 to put it.
4-1-5. It was practically a 4-1-5.
correct.
Yeah,
and
most of
first half, first goal in Asham, I mean, there was I think 15-20 minutes in Asham, the both like Wijnaldum and Henderson took chances to press to Phillips. അങ്ങനെയാണ് മറ്റേ ബാംഫോർഡിന്റെ ഗോൾ ഉണ്ടായത്. Both of them ended up going to him. Phillips could easily turn and pass to the other side, and then Bamford got released from the opposite flank. So Leeds have couple of what I think we should take notice. Leeds do have couple of like really well drilled attacking I think set plays that Bielsa's employed. But എനിക്ക് most impressive ആയിട്ട് തോന്നിയിട്ടുള്ള there how they've been pressing, because Klopp's team is known to be like high pressing, high energy, right? Anfield, the first game of the match, I think they made 155 sprints, one more than Liverpool in the opening game week. That's the highest in the opening game week, and they, I think 51% possession overall in the game. You don't expect such like numbers at Anfield. And one interesting aspect, if you see, avരുടെ pressing nu parna, it doesn't start in the, I mean, it doesn't initiate in the center. So Liverpool defenders ne ball gettam, if you see, Bamford the first one who makes that run, and how he makes that run is he sort of like turns his run blocking off the pass to Robertson. He doesn't directly go to Van Dijk. Van Dijk ne നേരിട്ട് press ചെയ്യുന്ന പറയുന്ന side കൂടെ ആ angle cover ചെയ്ത് either Van Dijk or Joe Gomez has to go to the center, like midfield, for the second ball. I mean, for first passing option. Our passes center are easily cut in. Their midfield ran throughout the game, out and out. Our pass cover it, Bamford runners initiates the press, and everyone else is like man to man. They have a man to press, and they did that throughout the game. Then full season sustain cheyyam pattumo ennallathu is definitely a question, depends on the fitness, but yeah, he implemented that pretty well in this game.
Yeah, and if you look at your point, right, on the pressing, probably the legs in the last 10 minutes they were really tired.
Yeah.
Thanks to all the pressing, and that's what led to the penalty in one way or the other, right? Although the penalty was given away by the sub. He had just come on.
I don't think it was but I think after the penalty they just got their wind out of the sails a bit after the penalty. Before the penalty they were playing well.
striker's challenge, so to speak. Box and
correct.
striker
He was just, just leaving a leg out there is purely a striker's challenge.
And
the
okay,
other
other
thing
thing
is
is like, you know, I think Liverpool switched it around in the second half in a different way. They were actually doing a little more different approach, almost similar approach to Leeds. Like they had lot more men inside the box and all those things. So they were attacking a bit more adventurous than what they were in the first half. I think they upped their intensity as well. They knew that they are facing actually a good opposition.
yeah, and Fabinho, the destroyer came, no? So when you have the destroyer behind you,
Fabinho gave them some stability in the sense, like, you know, they were able to keep possession a bit. But I think from a defensive standpoint, Fabinho or none of the Liverpool midfield was in the game, right? I mean, Leeds did not play through the midfield at all. They just made sure they free up Calvin Phillips and then they just go. They just broke the lines, broke the back line.
But
high line.
I mean, it is not that this technique is like outplayable. Leeds and technique man-to-man, but easily someone like, I mean, City does not have David Silva, but someone like David Silva who could easily turn their midfield. It is simple pottika on the, I mean, okay, to a good extent, simple pottika on the technique. And the moment you have someone who has that brilliance to turn one of their Leeds players.
Firmino did actually. Firmino did couple of times, more than couple of times. Firmino did in the second half that he turned his marker, who was Calvin Phillips, I think. And there were a couple of counterattacks, I think, more than a couple of counterattacks, which Mane missed one. I think Salah missed one. Firmino himself missed another one, where I think Meslier made a good save to that, actually. Wijnaldum had a chance to hit it. So, yeah, I mean, tactically, Leeds tactic was, I'm not saying very good, but they were very adventurous. Nobody expected them to do that. That was the beauty of it. But I think Liverpool also wasn't into their game. They just got saved by the 2 penalties, right, Bala?
Yeah, see, the thing is, Liverpool did not recognize that they were getting outplayed and they didn't adjust to it well enough. They were lucky, I would say, to get away with full 3 points. 3-3 draw would have been fair result in my opinion. But equally was like Leeds not lose, they just ran out of time. That's what it felt like to me. So the thing was like Liverpool should have adjusted better and earlier, in my opinion, but they were still holding on to their initial game plan even when Leeds had like blown it out of the water for a long time. So they kept trying to. They're like shell shock. Literally, that's our only word, right? Why is this happening to us? Why is it happening to us in at our home ground? So that's kind of confusion was visibly there with how they were reacting. They were not putting their foot down like a champion. So I know that happens when you have not been a champion for 30 odd years. That sort of things happen, right? So it's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
The unfamiliarity is always there.
Third goal.
Yeah.
Look at it. Leeds' third goal had Joe Gomez dropping off badly. And I think there was a screen grab in one of the analysis, which we can probably put up, which showed that Joe Gomez was at one point playing 3 or 4 players onside, while the rest of the line was up.
Correct.
DVD and Robertson were looking the other way. If you ask me, Trent did not react to it. He was still jogging back, right? Joe Gomez had dropped off. Trent has visibility into seeing the 2 players, but he's not reacting to it. And that's what created the third goal, if you really ask me, right? But
I think third goal was a real beauty, actually, in the sense, like, even though there was defensive mistakes, I think that pass from Costa on the wing and the control from the scorer was a thing of beauty. I mean, defensive line from Liverpool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No. What I was saying was Liverpool high line for some reason was completely at sea for the whole game. They could not keep a good line. I think that was again they were never under this much pressure to actually keep the line correctly because they had 5 runners behind them. So they had to be very accurate. Even the offside call, Joe Gomez stepped that like probably a millisecond earlier. That's what put Harrison offside. Otherwise, he would have been through.
I think a more pragmatic approach to countering this Bielsa ball might see them, start to, the goals will dry up. the energy will start going down when you're not scoring, right? So that is something
Yeah.
I think Leeds might have to get used to. I am really looking forward to Bielsa versus Mourinho, to be honest, or Bielsa
That
versus
is something.
Ancelotti for that matter, right? Because those are two guys who can tactically negate you, and it would be interesting to watch, see if Leeds can sustain this. But as much as it hurts a United fan to say it, by God, is it good to see Leeds back in the Premiership, right?
Yeah.
Damn good side, man. From a neutral point of view, right? Even though I'm supposed to hate them, I know that. But come on, that's really good football, and if
It's
nothing
a
comes out of
different
it,
way of
yeah, if nothing comes out
it's
of it,
quite
maybe Ed Woodward can start searching for signing Calvin
Yeah,
Phillips next summer,
അതിലൊരു
next few
flip side ഉണ്ട്
summers,
Bala.
right?
It's not.
So
I mean, I flip side, and I think all of us see that as exciting because നമ്മൾ ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു സ്റ്റൈൽ കുറച്ച് കാലമായി പ്രീമിയർ ലീഗിൽ കണ്ടിട്ട് a team that is willing to make or commit 4-5 folks consistently throughout the 90 minutes in every attack that they do. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ടീം, and I mean no less they're playing Liverpool at Anfield. അങ്ങനെ ടീം കളിക്കുന്ന നമ്മള് കണ്ടിട്ട് കുറച്ച് കാലം പ്രീമിയർ ലീഗ്. So that is a breath of fresh air, of course, but I don't think that is possible against every team in the Premier League either.
Yeah,
I think
We'll have to
Dyche
change
will
it up.
just
This is not going to
put
work.
a low block and
no,
kick the.
almost all
No, I
teams-
think
out of all the players.
managers will take note of it. I
Yeah,
think
they
even
are not
in our
going to-
preview, yeah,
yeah,
even in
They're
our
not going to
even
walk
during
into
our
this.
Leeds United preview, even in our Leeds United preview, me and Jitin was pointing out that how United fell prey to the Bielsa's Atletico Bilbao back in Europa League back in the day. Where we've definitely said that the managers have to be a little more pragmatic against Bielsa, because you cannot keep a very high line. You cannot be thinking about that we can steamroll them. They definitely come with a plan. So you have to adjust in game as well. And I think that's where I agree with Bala. We have to wait and watch Bielsa versus Mourinho or Bielsa versus Ancelotti for that matter, because that definitely will be a good tactical battle, that one.
Yeah, and also maybe even looking at it from Leeds players, right? Bielsa's locker room talk might be like, they're all going to underestimate you. Just go out and play your game, and they would have played with some freedom there. But now they'll have the weight of the expectations on their shoulders again, right? It's not just about being exciting every game, but the Premier League is a dogfight. You have to finish strong, otherwise you could play attractive football and still be relegated, right? That's a very real threat in the Premiership. So I think how Leeds manages expectations, keeps their playing style going forward. Interesting to watch.
Harrison,
No,
what a
yeah,
signing.
Everyone remember Blackpool, right? Who was that guy?
Yep.
Who was that manager?
Charlie Adams.
Blackpool's manager?
Holloway,
right?
Holloway.
Holloway. So he also came across. When he came to Premier League, they were able to do this in the first few weeks to teams that they were completely underestimated, but they were able to bring out some great results over the first few weeks of the Premier League. But then people started to take notes. They do not underestimate them.
Bound to happen. ഒരു team
After some time it's bound to happen.
ഒരേ ശൈലി full season കളിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. You will of
Right.
course get taken off it. Anyway,
Harrison, what a signing,
good exciting
by
match.
the way.
Huh?
Harrison, the guy from the MLS. What a signing. Awesome pace.
Yeah.
Super goal on debut. FPL candidate?
I think yes. Avante bracket is a 5.5 I think is priced at. Definitely.
Yeah.
I think first couple of weeks Leeds in the Kainya, they have a decent string of matches. He is an assured starter in their team, unless I see Rodrigo de Paul also coming in, wherein Bielsa has the option of playing Hernandez on the wing for like first 60 minutes or so. But I think he's going to start. Definitely a good shout.
All right.
Yeah, I think with the tactics they are playing, Harrison may be a good candidate because he makes a lot of runs behind, either for goal or even for an assist. He might be a good candidate there.
I think you can also look at Ayling and Dallas. We talked about them at the beginning of the preview itself, but there also might be the budget Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, right? So you could see them spray those passes forward and maybe get an assist, and maybe against the lesser sides also nab a clean sheet, because that's the winning formula for FPL. You have a defender who scores or assists and also keeps a clean sheet, right? That's like 14 points, 12 points right there. So
അത്
I
നമുക്ക്
think that
അത് നമുക്ക് വത്സേട്ടന്റെ സെക്കൻഡ് വത്സേട്ടന് വിടാം for FPL game.
All right, it's wrapped.
Final call. So who according to you guys was the player of the match? Bala.
Calvin Phillips, no doubt in my
Yeah.
mind.
1-0. Sham.
I would give it to Harrison.
Anirudh.
I'll give it to Salah. Hat trick. What
I
about
think
you?
it's Calvin Phillips from my side as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
as group wins that majority. So okay.
Yeah.